Howdy folks. So I am back to doing my makeup. However, right now doing your makeup is a little bit different because a lot of times if you're actually going out, you've got something like this on your face. So for me, I have kind of changed my routine a little bit as far as if I have to go in somewhere, which I don't typically do that, but if let's just say I have to go into the store, then I always wear my mask. It's required. So I'm not going to put a whole lot of effort into this part of my face. There are times when I am places where I don't have to wear a mask, like outside or just going to the park or whatnot. And if there are people around, yes, I wear my mask. But if it's just myself, my husband, my mother-in-law just walking around the park, we just carry our masks with us if we have to put them on if someone comes by. Anyway, not the point. The point is that I'm going to do my makeup today so that you guys can see how I've been doing it. You do it how you want to do it. I tried to minimize the amount of makeup that's going to rub off on my mask. Whether it's reusable or disposable, I don't want it rubbing off because then it's not on my face anymore, and what's the point? The way I do my makeup, there will be some rub off onto the mask, but try to minimize that as much as possible. And one of the very first things that I started doing was I don't really wear lipstick anymore unless I'm just around the house and I feel like it. And if you're like that, go for it, wear it. You know, put your bright red lip on and hang out in front of the TV. It's fine. But what I do is I stick with a lip balm. And my best friend, who's amazing, gave me 2 lip balms from Beekman 1802. Here, I'm going to do the thing that we all do so you can read it. There you go. Okay, so I have 2 here. I have the Vanilla Absolute. And that one doesn't have any color at all, but sometimes you just want to look a little less like a dead body, and so you want a little bit of color. That's what I'm going to use today, and this one is called Fig Leaf. So just put a little bit of that on, and it doesn't give a lot of color, but you can see there's a difference between my top and bottom lip. Okay. Gives you a little something, but it also helps to keep you moisturized. And I think like if we go someplace where we have to keep our mask on for a while, a lot of times we forget to drink enough water and stay hydrated. So your lips are one of the first things that suffer from that. You start getting dried out lips. All right, so I went ahead and put that on, but a lot of this is preparation of your face beforehand, making sure you're properly hydrated, have your moisturizer on. I've already done that. But then I also like to use an oil mattifier so that throughout the day, it doesn't start kind of like producing too much oil and pushing the makeup off of my face. So I just need a very little bit and apply it just in the areas where I tend to get a little bit oily. And just gently applying that. Okay. All right. And then I'm not going to do anything with my face right now because I'm going to do my eyes first. And obviously, like in this situation, your eyes are probably going to be your most important feature when you're doing your makeup because that's what most people are seeing. And as they say, it's the window to the soul. So putting a little bit of eye primer on. I'm using the Mary Kay eye primer, but you use whatever eye primer you feel like. The Mary Kay eye primer is clear. It does not have any like color to it like a lot of eye bases do. So I'm just using that, and I'm going to be using mostly Mary Kay stuff today because I'm trying to get back into using more of it. I dabble and experiment with other brands, but you know, I found tried and true, like it works. So I really enjoy it. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna start with the liquid eyeshadow. So your liquid eyeshadow is gonna last really well and not rub off or anything. I'm gonna get myself a little mirror, my cute silver mirror. And I'm just going to apply a little bit of that to my eyelids and blend it in. And by a little bit, I mean like an obscene amount. And I just you can use a brush to do this, to blend it in, or you can just use your finger. That's what I'm going to do. So you just blend just really the edges so you don't have like a little harsh line, because then you still get all the color payoff from the eyeshadow on what I like to call your mobile lid, the part of your eyelid that moves. Okay. And everybody knows I love a lot of sparkle, so we will probably be doing a healthy amount of shimmeriness today. All right, so we start with that liquid eyeshadow. Give it a second to sit and set so that it's not moving around. And I like to, what is it called? Multitask with some products. So a lot of times if I'm in a hurry, and that's kind of what we're gonna do, is we're doing this to go out so we feel good about ourselves. If that is how you are. Some people don't need makeup to feel good about themselves, and I don't, but I enjoy it. So I like to go out feeling like I put a little bit of effort in. But what I'm going to do is I am going to take a fluffy eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to dip it into the contour powder that I use for my cheeks, but I'm going to apply that into my crease to give it a little bit of dimension. You see there's a little bit of a difference there. So I tap some on, get a little bit of the excess. We don't want it going all over the place. And then we're just buffing that into the crease so we don't have like harsh lines or anything. Okay. All right, so I've got that on, but what I want to do now is I want to take a it's a flat shader brush, but I like to use this with like a more natural color. Oh, if I could get one of those. An eye shade. My skin tone. So something that's similar to my skin tone or just slightly lighter. Then I like to put that right above the brown shades so that it blends it out nicely and it really, really eliminates that line, that harsh line. So we have a nice gradient effect, and see, you can tell the difference already between the eyes. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. And now I have darkness on the top of my eye and the bottom of my eye, but don't worry, we'll get rid of that. All right, so far this is looking exactly what I was hoping for. And when I'm running around doing stuff, I don't wear eyeliner. If you were gonna wear eyeliner, we've got this fancy, amazing Mary Kay eyeliner, and I'll apply some maybe later on, but also gotta do those brows. So I try to keep it simple, and I just use a brow gel to start. This one is an auburn brow gel because I have red hair. And I just put that through the front of my brows. I got that through the front. And then I'm going to go ahead in with a pencil just because my eyebrows are short. The tail of them isn't very long. So I'm going to add a little bit to the end just so that everything looks balanced. But we're definitely still keeping it pretty simple so that you're not going crazy trying to put makeup on to go to the store for 15 minutes or however long you have to go to the store. All right, so like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and put some liner on. I don't typically do that, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it, and I'm just gonna do it simply. I'm just gonna do a simple line. There we go. All right. So just a simple line to go with, and then grab your favorite mascara. It doesn't really, whatever you find really works for your lashes and just helps them to look really like bone girl, like it'll really show up. You'll be able to communicate your thoughts through your eyes. That's what's important. I'm going to do the bottom lashes later on whenever I actually do my under eyes, but I also like to do multiple layers of mascara. So I'm going to give myself this one layer. Then I'm going to go back in when I do the bottom lashes. Actually, what I do is I'll do the second coat on the top lashes, and then I use the residual to do the bottom lashes so that they don't look very heavy. All right. Coat number 1 is done. All right, so now we're going to go on to doing my face stuff, which really isn't that much. I'm going to go ahead and grab my primer. This one is going to give me some sun protection as well as helping everything to stick and stay. I just use a teeny tiny bit, and it's mostly on my nose because that is where it's going to rub off the most, if it rubs off. Okay. And I didn't rub very hard. My skin just tends to turn red very easily. And then we're going to start, like I said, we're going to go really light on everything because there's no real reason to go heavy and go crazy. And I'm literally using my under eye corrector and putting 1 dot under each eye. 1 dot. I know. It's crazy. And then I'm going to use a brush. And this is the Flawless Concealer Brush from e.l.f. But you can use whatever your little heart desires. If you like using a blender, like a sponge, whatever. So my main thing is just brightening up this under eye and getting the inner corner brightened up. And you see it's already so much better. I don't look like I haven't slept in 5 years anymore. Truth is, probably haven't really slept in 5 years with the residual. Okay, and I did a little bit of under eye corrector, and day to day I kind of try to decide if I need to use concealer as well. And today I'm gonna say no. If you have, you know, a lot of very fair skin, or the under eye corrector doesn't match your skin tone this well, you will want to use a concealer just so that you can get something that's going to match well. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, I have 2 powders. I do a light powder and a darker powder to get my everything taken care of as far as evening my skin tone. I'm not using a true foundation today because what's the point? If it rubs off or whatever, then there's no real reason to do that. So you can use 1 tone of powder. I use 2 because one of them I think works better under my eyes and around my nose. So I'm just using this powder to lighten up underneath here. Da-da-da. It looks crazy right now, but I promise it's not going to continue looking crazy. And I really like to kind of buff this in gently because I don't want it to crease. And since I am not a spring chicken, I'm not as young as some of the other people that make videos, I still like to use powder to set stuff under my eyes because I have oily skin, but I also really like to make sure it's not a lot of powder. This is just a very good high coverage powder. Okay, grab a little bit more, put it around my nose, get some of the redness out of my skin. That's because, you know, we take the redness out so that we can put the redness back in with blush, but like where we want it to be. Okay, let me see. Looking good, looking good. And then we'll grab the darker powder. Like I said, you don't have to do this in 2 steps. You can just do 1 powder. This is just how I like to do it. And get yourself a nice, good, high coverage powder. And then I'm taking the little darker shade and I'm just blending that on the upper part of my face, on the sides of my nose. And I'm really buffing this in because I want it to be more of like a thin layer that, well, I'm like shaking everything. A thinner layer that just gives me like a little bit of more evenness to my skin tone. Sorry, I'm shaking everything up. Just shaking it all up, guys. Okay. I do put a little bit on my chin in case for some reason I have to take my mask off, like sometimes for doctor's appointments or whatnot. And then, you know, if I just want to shake everything up, I do my forehead. And a lot of times for the forehead, it's more so I can have like something to go on there for sun protection and all of that good stuff. All right, so we have our very light coat of powder that covers very well. And then we're going to go in with our contour. So find yourself a nice cool toned matte contour powder. The Latte powder from Mary Kay is really good if you have light to medium skin. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus. I'm going to use my phone, my little camera here, to record this part. Okay. So just very lightly with the brush. If you put too much on, I'll show you how to fix that, because I feel like I just put too much on. And I'm just going around just this part of my face, just to give myself a little bit of color. And just to lighten it up, I'm going to take the residual from that brush that I just used to apply powder and blend it out, so it doesn't look crazy like me. And then we'll go in for blush. I'm just going to grab a nude pink blush. I think this is called Nude Rose. And just gently put it on my upper cheeks. Right. Cool. And at this point, what I'm going to do, since I have my under eyes done, is I'm going to get myself one of these tiny little brushes. See how little that is? It's flat. And then I'm going to use some of that contour powder. I'm going to put it right underneath my eyes, underneath here. But it's just a tiny bit. It's just to give myself a little bit of definition down there. You see the difference? I see the difference. If you don't, you can skip this step. But I just like the little bit of extra that it gives me there. And I'm watching myself do it. How do I even do that? I surprise myself sometimes. Okay, so we have that little bit of definition. I'm going to go ahead and do my second coat of mascara and the bottom lashes. Then we will highlight, and then we will set our makeup. And that's pretty much all you have to do. First, you're going to get the crazy hair off of your face, because like me, if you're like me, you have lots of insane hairs that go everywhere. Okay. So we've got our mascara. We're going to do our second coat on the top. Blammo. All right, and then the residual I will use on the bottom. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Your lashes down there are so small. You don't need much. Okay. See? You don't need much. All right, we will highlight, because I can't stop myself. I cannot stop myself from highlighting. I've got to do it. I love it. It's one of my favorite things. My favorite things. Let me see. Which highlighter do I want to use today? You know what? I'm just going to go nuts here. I'm going to use my Makeup Revolution highlighter. And I know we're beyond this blinding highlight, you know, trend-wise, but I don't really care about trends. I just want to like what I like. And so I like this highlight situation. So I just put a little bit on the cheekbone, and then I rub it so that it really blends into the skin, and it just looks like that. Not chunky, not glittery. We're gonna do the same thing over here. And we're gonna rub it in with our little ring finger. That might have been a little more than I was intending, but hey, looks fine. And then I will never ever give up on my inner corner highlight. And the reason I won't is because my eyes are a little bit more deep set and I get a little bit of darkness. So that really, to me, it just brightens up my face. And it's not crazy, it's not glittery, it's nothing like that. And a little bit underneath my brow. And that is because my arches aren't very defined, and this gives the illusion of more defined arches. Okay, so then the next step is an obscene amount of makeup setting spray, which I will do. I always try to put my hair back there so I don't get a crazy amount. I really love the makeup setting spray from Mary Kay in Scandinavia. Oh, look, my beautiful nails, which are almost totally not polished. Just rubs off. I do a lot of dishes because when you cook at home, you do a lot more dishes. All right, I'm gonna spray this a million times, and then I'm going to use my super cool fan to set it on my face. So this does a few different things. I told you it was beautiful. So this does a few different things. It's gonna set your makeup so that it lasts throughout the day. It's less likely to rub off on your mask, but also it makes like any powders on your skin look a bit more natural after it dries. So it can take a couple of minutes for that to happen. As you can see, it's still wet right here. And usually around my nose is where it gets the most setting spray, which is what I want. That's exactly what I want. I look so bougie right now. And as that dries, everything's just gonna look much more like your skin. And that's exactly what you want. You want everything to look a lot more like your skin. And I'm sorry, I keep looking at myself here so that I can make sure it all looks like I want it to. And so basically that's it. I know that seems like a long time to work on your face, but it's because I was talking you through it. If you were to do this on your own, you would have a lot less products to use. You would just have basically your eyebrow stuff, your eyelash stuff. You would then have a concealer, powder, and then your bronzer, highlight, and blush, and then your liquid eyeliner if you choose to do that. If you don't want to use a liquid eyeshadow, not liquid eyeliner. If you don't want to use a liquid eyeshadow, then you can just use the highlighter on the mobile lid of your eye, and that saves you a step, in fact. So that's what I like to do, and then this is my Corona makeup. This is what I do. On occasion, since I have these fancy new masks that they look like a duck bill, like that, they don't touch my mouth at all. They're very stiff, so they don't touch my mouth when I breathe in. So then I can wear lipstick. If you really love wearing lipstick and you just want it for you, you want to wear it for you, then invest in those kind of masks that are like the duckbill kind of masks. This is a KN95. So I hope that was helpful, and I hope you guys take a few minutes to like and subscribe and ring the bell if you want to see more videos. I am going to try and get back to making them at least once a week, and that's it. I hope you guys are staying safe and healthy, and trying to help small businesses and all of that good stuff that we've been talking about for the last year. And it's, we know right now it's going to keep going. So enjoy your day and enjoy your week, and I'll see you next time.